Welcome back. Tonight, we step into the marble halls of Rome, not to praise emperors, but to explore the quieter power of those in togas. The Roman Senate was a stage of eloquence and ambition where bloodlines mattered, but alliances mattered more. Senators ruled not with armies, but with influence, words, and the weight of tradition. Yet behind the polished speeches and public rituals were rivalries, shadows, and those who stood just beyond the curule chair. Clients, scribes, freedmen. This is a story not of absolute power, but of negotiated identity, where to belong has to be seen, and to be seen was everything. Before we begin, if stories like this speak to you, go ahead and like the video, and if you're new here, please consider subscribing. In the comments, share where you're listening from and what makes you feel heard and seen, even when you're not at the center of power. Because in Rome, as now, influence isn't always about where you sit, but what you stand for. Now, let us begin. You wake to the soft light filtering through the atrium, but there's no moment of peace, not for someone like you. You're the heir to a legacy carved in marble and memory. Every gesture you make, every phrase that escapes your lips carries not just your own fate, but the standing of your entire family line. You walk through the halls of your home, past busts of ancestors who won wars, governed provinces, and stood shoulder to shoulder with Rome's greatest leaders. Their stone eyes follow you, a constant reminder your life is not your own. You are the continuation of their glory, or the one who could bring disgrace. You step into the curia, the Senate house, surrounded by robed men of rank and ambition. The scent of parchment, incense, and polished marble fills the air. Debate erupts around you like thunder echoing through the chamber as senators spar over war strategy, tax reforms, or legal decrees. But beneath these words flow deeper currents, alliances unspoken, rivalries masked by polite nods, traps laid in rhetoric and smiles. Here, one misstep can undo generations. Say the wrong thing, align the wrong man, or even a flicker of hesitation, and you may find yourself isolated, or worse, facing exile or a dagger in the dark. Power, prestige, and visibility come with a price. You are always watched, judged, and remembered. Life as a Roman senator is no leisurely inheritance. It is a crucible. Every day demands alertness. Behind the pageantry of public ceremonies and the grandeur of elite life lies a labyrinth of shifting loyalties, whispered bargains, and hidden threats. To survive here requires more than noble birth. It demands skill, restraint, and a mind as sharp as any soldier's sword. You earned your seat through rigorous education, yes, but keeping it requires something far greater. The unrelenting mastery of influence, a careful dance between duty and danger, and the patience to play long games in a city where trust is often a mask of betrayal. You learned early that your life is not private. Even as a child, your every step, word, and glance is watched. You wear your family's name like armor and like a target. The marble hallways of your home echo with more than footsteps. They carry expectations. You must walk tall, stand still, and never raise your voice in laughter that might seem too careless. Dignity becomes your daily clothing long before you ever don the toga. Your father leads you through the forum, past merchants, magistrates, and common citizens. You feel their eyes on you, not because of who you are, but because of what you represent. A future senator, a living branch of a famous tree. If you fidget at ceremonies, speak too freely, or forget to greet a magistrate properly, it is not just your own shame. It ripples back to stain your father, your ancestors, your house. You are taught that even your silence should be respectable. Pliny the Younger's words stay with you, though you barely knew him. Stand straight, walk slowly, laugh softly. These rules are not burdens. They are your tools. Tools for being seen as worthy of power long before you ever hold it. At every gathering, from family dinners to public games, you are watched, not by peers, but by clients, priests, and sometimes even senators who whisper predictions about your future. The small golden amulet around your neck, the bulla, gleams in the sunlight, marking you as both child and heir. At birthday rites, you sit near the altar, watching your mother burn offerings to the household gods. At dawn, your father might rouse you early to join him in a lararium ritual, where flickering flames illuminate painted ancestors. You kneel in silence, absorbing the stories of old victories and stern decisions. These rituals are not optional. They are lessons in loyalty, piety, and civic pride. Civic life steeps into your veins through repetition. You watch chariot races at the Ludi Romani, not for joy, but to learn the rhythm of public expectation. You observe which families cheer which factions, which senators sit beside which generals. Even the games are politics. Your mother and aunts keep records, stories passed down over shared meals of your great uncle's command in Hispania, your grandfather's reforms in the provinces. You are reminded with soft voices and sharp glances that you must never dishonor them. They may be long gone, but they are not forgotten. Their shadows stretched into your present, shaping your behavior like the carefully combed folds of your ceremonial toga. Even leadership begins in mimicry. You help organize a small festival with your father. You give your first public recitation in a crowded atrium, your voice trembling but clear. Someone claps, someone else nods. Small signs, but they matter. They tell the world you're preparing, that you understand, that you belong. You learn that ambition must be quiet but present, that confidence must be worn like perfume, not overwhelming but unmistakable. This constant awareness becomes second nature. You become fluent in the language of glances, silences, gestures, not because you are sly, but because you must survive. By the time you shed your bulla and take on the full toga of manhood, you're not just a son. You are a statement, a living promise. And when you speak in public, when your voice finally echoes beyond your family walls, people won't just be listening to you. They'll be listening to every ancestor who speaks through you. You sit in the Curia Julia, your back straight, eyes scanning the chamber, but never lingering too long on any one particular figure. Around you, the murmur of voices rises and falls like the tides. Every glance, every motion carries weight. You've learned to read the room like a battlefield. It must be done, because here, in this marble chamber, surrounded by Rome's most powerful men, the wrong word can destroy you. Today's debate is no ordinary matter. Word has spread that Catiline's conspiracy threatens to unravel the Republic. The air is tight with dread. Cicero, your fellow senator, rises to speak, his voice slicing through the tension. He calls for the execution of conspirators without a trial. Heads turn, whispers begin. You're no stranger to political heat, but this is a furnace. Your vote could preserve Rome or haunt your name for generations. As you rise to cast your tabella into the voting urn, the weight in your hand is more than wood. It's Rome's future, your family's reputation, your own safety. You feel the eyes of your peers, your rivals, your clientes, waiting outside. One vote, and you could be remembered as a guardian of Rome's stability, or as a man who betrayed her values. And this is just one day. You've seen how quickly loyalty can turn to danger. Praise spoken in yesterday's debate only becomes tomorrow's evidence for treason. When Cicero exposed Catiline, he didn't just protect Rome, he earned enemies who never forgot his words. Some plotted openly, others waited patiently. You understand this game. You must understand it. Every alliance you form, every dinner you attend, every name you endorse carries a cost. Choosing a side is like placing your hand on a burning scale. It might elevate you, or it might leave you marked forever. Senators like Cassius and Brutus learned this too late. They dreamed of restoring the Republic, but their names became whispered curses. They died as fugitives, their final loyalty rewarded not with honor, but with exile, defeat, and shame. The corridors of power are littered with shattered legacies. You recall how Germanicus once dazzled Rome, young, handsome, beloved. You joined others in supporting him, but when he died and Sejanus stepped forward, everything changed. Friends of Germanicus were now marked. Some were accused of sorcery, others disappeared. Trials became performances. The sentence was known before the charges were read. You learned to speak less, bow deeper, and never appear too certain. Even outside the Senate, the danger does not sleep. You keep your villa guarded, but you know that walls and clients aren't always enough. Once Gaius Gracchus tried to challenge the system, to reform it from within. You remember the day his body was found, cornered and slain. his dreams bleeding into the stones of the Aventine Hill. His end taught you a lesson that books could never teach. Rome does not tolerate missteps, even when wrapped in noble ideals. In the evening, you recline at a banquet, wine in hand, but your thoughts are never relaxed. Across the triclinium, another senator raises a toast. You smile, he smiles back, but behind his eyes, calculation. These gatherings are not about pleasure. They are battlegrounds draped in silk. Alliances are shaped here, sometimes with a few choice words, sometimes with a quiet threat. And always, always, you are being watched. Your garments speak for you, the toga, the purple stripe, but they also mark you as a target. People expect greatness, yes, but they also wait for your stumble. A misquoted law, a missed appearance, a rumor whispered by a servant. These are the sparks that can ignite your downfall. You hold the power, but that power is never free. It demands attention, sacrifice, and silence. You've seen senators brought low by a single accusation, their names struck from marble inscriptions, their heirs shamed. You've attended funerals with no mourners, seen men who once ruled provinces vanish without protest. So you walk carefully, you speak with precision, you weigh every choice against the scales of ambition and survival. Because in this chamber, under Rome's unyielding gaze, every gesture is a gamble, and every gamble could cost you everything. And that, my friends, is where our story comes to a close, for now. But stories have a way of echoing through time. Maybe this one found a place in yours. If it did, let me know what part stayed with you the most. Don't forget to like, share it with someone who might need this tale today, and subscribe so you don't miss on the next one. Until then, stay curious, stay kind, and keep listening for the stories all around you.